Well, my plan was to give you guys the day off today, but Katie is on fire. She sent a lot of the information that we've been covering over the last couple weeks on episodes of random animations and TV shows that contain the Trump meme. Today we're going to look at Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from 1981, which aired on the 269th day of the year, with 96 days remaining in the year. Now, if you tuned into yesterday's show, the stream was cut when we started talking about a very high-powered microwave that could cause metal to melt. And we started talking about aluminum not interacting with microwaves, but metal interacting with microwaves or steel. So something is up when the stream was cut. Fortunately, we got most of the show completed yesterday. You definitely want to take a look at yesterday's show because we talked about Tesla and his papers in 80 trunks held in a warehouse on 57th Street, just 2 blocks away from Trump International Hotel, down the street from Trump Tower. Now, today we'll be looking at a cartoon, but this could very well be one of the most horrific Saturday morning cartoons that you'll ever watch. And why do I say that? Because what you're going to see next actually really happened in real life. Now, I'll let the episode pretty much speak for itself. There's really not a lot of decoding that you have to do, because they actually mention a ritual called Maga. There is a radio frequency tower. There is a man named Frump who turns himself into Super Frump. I'm not making any of this up. Now, I chopped all this up into bits and pieces to avoid the copyright algorithms. So it's going to look a little bit mixed up, but you'll get the gist of it. We'll be pausing frequently. And I'll link the full episode in the pinned comment. It's on Daily Motion. We get also in this episode, Frump creates for himself a cat. Here it is right here. Season 1, Episode 3, September 26th, with 96 days left in the year. Now, this is important because the actor who voices Frump died at 96 years old. And he was born on 1/19/1919. This is Mr. Frump here. And the actor that played him, Alan Young. Here's Alan Young, born on 1/19/1919. At 96 years old, he died during the year that Trump became president. Now let's keep going with this. So, you're going to see Frump create for himself a cat. You're going to see him wish himself riches. A Roman Colosseum, EMF towers. It's unreal. As if the past is meeting the future. Now, before we get into this, what's happening here? What is happening here? Well, your mind will try and write this off as Trump trolling, even back in 1981. You're going to want to try to rationalize this in your mind because it's so unbelievable. But use your critical thinking and ask yourself, if this is Trump trolling, is the left using what you're going to see next to troll Trump? Are they actually bringing this episode up to use against Trump in any way, shape, or form? The answer is no. In fact, Katie had to dig to find this episode. Now, I don't know if any other channels have found this or where she found it or how she found it, but literally nobody until now even remembers this episode. So is it really Trump trolling? No, it is not. So what are we left with in terms of trying to figure out why they would make this kind of episode about Trump? We're left with one thing: demonic sorcery, magic, imprinted on the minds of children. The kind of magic that the entire world would suffer decades later. Magic that turned people off to Trump's actions and has them listening to his words instead. The kind of magic that passed China 5G and beyond in plain sight, with no protest. The kind of magic that allowed the father of warp speed to create a smack the nation, a national ID, red flag laws, and spending us into hyperinflation at $6.6 trillion. And that is some very strong magic to allow that to happen in plain sight with no protest and no resistance. Let's get started. This is unbelievable. The fantastic Mr. Frump right there in your face. Now this is Doom. Let's get started here. Now,
Master?
Let's back this up, because the episode opens with Doom working with a man from Latveria, which of course is Bavaria, which is where Trump's father is from. Let's get the volume up here so you guys can hear this. Now, I couldn't even believe this. I just opened this up this morning at 4 a.m. in the morning. I woke up, I saw Katie's email, and I was like, there's no way. And I found the episode, and this is what you guys are going to see today. There you see it, Latveria, like Bavaria.
Master?
Go forth and bring me the final piece of the amulet. I must say the mystic words within the hour.
So he tells him to bring him the amulet. So Doom has this guy steal an amulet that will give him power to pull energy out of the sky through a radio tower. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, it should. That's Tesla technology, the power of the universe. Listen.
Then I, Victor Von Doom, will possess the power of the universe. Now let the transference of power begin.
The basketball game.
You forgot your umbrella.
The basketball game.
You forgot your umbrella.
Spider-Man runs out of the house, forgets his umbrella, which of course is the syringe.
No time, Aunt May. I'm late for the
Words within the hour. Push. Transference of power begin.
Mr. Frump.
Then Spider-Man meets Mr. Frump, realizes that he knew his Aunt May.
Didn't you used to do odd jobs for my aunt, May Parker?
May Parker. What a great game!
Frump. Jobs for my aunt, May Parker?
May Parker. She was so nice to me. It would be wonderful to see her again.
You never know when good luck will strike.
Sure, to me.
She liked you, too. It's a shame you lost your job.
The story of my life.
Don't worry, Mr.
So then Doom starts building his tower. he draws a pentagram, which of course is super creepy. This is a children's show, you guys, with satanic references in it. But let's get to the point of this. Because Frump then discovers part of this amulet, which gives him special powers to literally create reality.
Turn on the transmitter. I will mix the ancient with the new, science with
Now, Doom has the amulet, and he prepares the 5G tower to receive power to mix the ancient with the new, to create a cosmic ray, which sounds a lot like Tesla's death ray.
Turn on the transmitter. Be Lord of all the earth and beyond. Mystic words on the amulet will create a cosmic ray that will make me Lord of all the earth.
You a head start.
Alter is just what I need.
Spider-Man then discovers the tower, and it's all about antennas, right? You see the antenna on your screen here.
That tower is just what I need. Wow. I don't know what it is, but anything Doom's doing is worth undoing.
Maga prevail. Whoever holds the amulet when the ray returns will become the most powerful being in the universe.
Invitation?
You fool! Whoever holds the amulet when the ray returns.
Then, of course, Frump gets a hold of his part of the amulet. The ray, cosmic ray, comes from the sky, hits the 5G tower, and that's when Frump gets his special powers.
Will become the most powerful being in the universe.
Hey, gee, what's this? Broke it. Nothing ever goes right for me.
You interfering insect!
Where's Spidey?
I thought he was behind me. We don't want Doom to have his morning eggs?
No job for you. Bug off.
No job for you. That's kind of like the you're fired thing. Tells him to bug off, as basically Frump goes in to try to find a job. And what ends up happening, the store owner turns the store owner into a bug. Now here's what's important. You're going to notice all this twinning behind Frump, because he is a Gemini, and you're going to see that behind him. Watch.
But your sign says...
You heard me. Bug off.
He doesn't realize he has the power to make reality, but he does. And so when the store owner tells him to bug off, he says, you bug off, and it turns him into a bug. But look at the twin rackets, look at the twin pans, look at the twin lamps. That's the Gemini. So there's something about that and Frump. Let's keep watching.
Oh, you bug off.
That is just an expression.
It is mine. Give it to me.
You're going to notice lots of walls. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim that this was about the wall that Frump built, but there is a focus on it. Let's keep watching.
There are dead bodies.
Funny Frump, looks like he lives in a...
Now, Frump doesn't realize at this point that he has the ability to make reality. But it's interesting because we know that the Antichrist will have the ability to call down fire out of heaven in the sight of men with a simple command. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist. I'm saying there's something going on here. What is this about? Now, at this point, these children start mocking Trump, and they call him Funny Frump. That's FF, or 66 alphanumerically, which is the Apollo number.
Garbage dump!
Oh, go jump in the lake.
Let's back that up so you could hear Funny Frump.
It is mine. Give it to me.
Over our dead bodies.
Funny Frump! Looks like he lives in a garbage dump!
Oh, go jump.
Now notice the garbage dump reference, just like Grump in Sesame Street episode. It was about the garbage, remember? And here's the same thing. They say he looks like he lived in a garbage dump. So Trump then tells them to go jump in the lake, which is probably like the swamp.
In the lake.
Look! It's weird old Frump! Funny Frump! You're weird, Frump!
You clam up.
I am prepared for anything.
Look at the wall. They're still around this wall.
Instant refrigeration.
Armor.
Or I will crush.
A hot dog. But I like it with mustard and relish.
So the magician starts creating reality. This is shocking. This is literally shocking.
Hot dog.
Release it, or I...
Then, of course, the man in the mirror, the Gemini, twinning. There's lots of images out there in our modern times of Trump looking at himself in a mirror.
Oh my, this will never do. Hey, a hot dog.
So now that he realizes that he has the ability to create reality, he starts asking for things like to be rich. He also asks for a cat. Now, I believe, unfortunately, we're going to do a show on this the next couple days, that the cat represents virus just like a bat does. We haven't seen that particularly manifest in our reality yet, but I can tell you this. We're going to be covering a research paper that released on Halloween of this year that compares cats to bats and their ability to basically jump from animals to humans and transmit viruses. Just a few weeks ago, this paper released, so we're going to be covering that in a future show. I don't know what that means for the future, but I will tell you that it's not good, because we've already seen clues about the cat being the next big thing. Now, what is Trump's cat's name in this cartoon? Mabel. And I believe that's Abel mockery.
Oh my, this will be my foot servants. I want new shoes and fancy clothes. And a gilded carriage with 6 black horses. And those...
Now, the gilded carriage with 6 black horses, you could argue this is Apollo's chariot. Possibly. Let's keep watching here.
nasty boys will be my foot servants. Wonderful. I'll call you Mabel. Be my friend forever and ever. Servants. I want someone special to be my friend forever and ever.
Must help Firestar.
The others surrender.
More walls.
Storm, be gone. I want rainbows and pretty clouds. I want bright colors and red carpeting everywhere.
That would be mine.
More brick walls.
Do it? Honest.
More brick walls.
That's a good question, Mabel. How did I get these powers? Let the answer be revealed.
The time has come
To disappear?
gave them to you with a
I am Lord Frump.
He then starts calling himself Lord Frump. Now what I want you to notice as well is the fire and ice theme here. Superman's friends are fire and ice. I can't remember their exact names, but they're fire and ice. Now what does this mean? Well, this points back to Back to the Future. Marty jumping through time at 88 miles an hour in a blaze of fire. But then when he arrives on the other side in 1985, which is 58 backwards, the DeLorean is frozen in ice. Ice and fire. Now, if you think I'm making this up, when he arrives in 1985, 58 backwards, there is a Reverend John Crump on the movie billboard. Assembly of Christ. Wow. Fire and ice. So we have repeating themes. It's pretty much undeniable at this point, isn't it? It's undeniable we have this repeating theme of fire and ice. Let's keep watching here.
How did I get my powers?
I, Dr. Doom, gave them to you. Destroy 3 terrible enemies. Spider-Man, Firestar, and...
Scout! What are you doing?
He was about to fire his sonic ray.
I don't believe you. Dr. Doom is right. You are my enemies. Dr. Doom is right. You are my enemies.
the amulet. It's stone too.
Peter just loves my homemade chocolate cake. Mr. Frump, what are you doing in my kitchen? Oh, dear! What have you done?
Don't worry. Look, I can restore them. Be alive again. Anything. Give me a palace.
So then he starts asking for more riches. He asks for a palace. He asks for all the money in the world. This is unbelievable.
We don't need her.
Me up.
I will crush you.
Never mind that. Watch. I want all the money in the world.
I will crush you in half.
If you can have anything, why do you need money?
Give me the world's largest car. A supergiant TV set. I want to have fun.
Yes, of course. You should be entertained like a Roman emperor. Of course, you should be entertained like a Roman emperor.
Yes! I want a Roman arena.
He then asks for a Roman arena, as you just heard him, and he asks for an alien creature that looks like a Hydra.
Idea, Dr. Doom.
We've got our powers back.
Three-headed dog monster Cerberus appear.
Be as Dr. Doom says. think of anything.
An alien!
Yes! Let the weirdest creature in the universe appear.
And there's your Hydra. Now, these are all concepts that we had already identified related to Trump, haven't we? And the thing that he invented through warp speed.
Think of anything.
An alien!
Yes! Let the weirdest creature in the universe appear.
He then turns himself into Wonder Frump. This is no joke.
Not Aunt May.
Wonder Frump.
But save her.
Yes, I'll save her. I am Wonder Frump.
Now, I almost peed my pants when he said this. I couldn't believe it. Wonder Frump. Remember the Superman after he got sick? And he opened his, he said he was Superman? This is unbelievable. Now, why did he turn himself into a superhero? Well, it was so he could save Aunt May from the Hydra that he created by wishing it. Let's keep watching here. So he kills the Hydra.
The most powerful superhero in the world. I'll take you all on.
We don't want to fight you.
You're no fun. Be rooted to the spot.
Hey!
All the pieces of the amulet!
We can't trust you.
You...
This really is a day of miracles. The Spider Friends working with Dr. Doom. Instant. You're cruel and arrogant. And I don't...
You're arrogant. So this is the accusation against Trump that he's arrogant. And he actually is, but that's the judgment against us as Christians. That we actually believe that an arrogant, pompous person serves God. That is our judgment. For those who believe this man, it is our judgment. Because it is the opposite of the fruits of the Spirit that God said our leaders should have. The opposite. But we allowed it because he was taking it to the left, and we were so afraid of the left that we allowed ourselves to believe in him. Now, what you're going to hear next will seal the deal beyond the shadow of a doubt, because he's literally going to do a ritual called Maga. And I'm going to play it back a couple of times so you can hear it. Hopefully the volume's loud enough. And this is what finally convinced me that Trump is in fact a real magician.
Belongs to me, Frump, master of the universe.
Take me back this instant.
Left. Mabel. Hey, Parker. I have one true friend left. Mabel.
Toad, your power will disappear in an hour.
I don't believe you.
It's true. That's what he told us.
Recreate the storm!
Storm, come again as before.
I must turn on my transmitter. All is ready. Give me the amulet.
I don't know about this, guys.
Maga prevail. Give me the amulet.
I don't know about this, guys.
Maga prevail.
Let Arluma
By the mystic Rogoth Trail.
by the mystic Rogoth Trail.
Let Maga prevail.
Maga.
Let Arlumaga prevail. Let Arlumaga prevail.
So there's the ritual. He raises the amulet in the air, sending the power through the 5G tower.
bracelet doesn't look right. Sure, Doom switched it. He's holding the real one.
Yes!
You guys stop Doom!
Then we see the second umbrella of the episode, confirmation of the first umbrella mentioned. It's at sub-zero temperatures, 2 umbrellas, 2 injections that need to be stored at sub-zero temperature.
Swords of lightning, strike!
I'll hold off the lightning. You guys stop Doom!
If you move, I'll destroy her! You've ruined everything. The power is gone forever.
I order my world not to disappear.
Yes, you've ruined everything. The power is gone forever. The end of Lord Frump. In moments, we will not remember any of this.
So,
I think
then there's some kind of weird mind wipe thing that happens here. Once the power is gone, their minds are wiped and they forget everything that happened. And I'm wondering if this is going to be the end result of all of this, of the microwave frequencies and the and all this stuff. And then at the end of the episode, Spider-Man mentions Q.
I think that's our cue to get out of here.
Present day, just like it was before. Miserable.
I think that's our cue to get out of here.
It'll all be just like it was before. My job, if you only knew. I have no friends. She likes me. I'll call her Mabel.
You know, I can't believe that in a few moments, we're actually going to forget something as fantastic as this.
So there you go. Now, if it was just 1 or 2 elements of all this, I would say this whole thing was a stretch. But it's absolutely not just 1 or 2 elements. It's every single element that we've talked about. Now, again, I don't know if some other channels have made this discovery already, but hats off to Katie for finding this episode, aligning with everything we've found so far. Redeem says Ivana Maples. Maples was Marla Maples was like his second wife, or maybe his first wife. So maybe that's what Abel is. Maybe she's Mabel the cat. That's definitely a plausible explanation for that. In 1981, was he married to Marla Maples? I think he might have been. So maybe they were mocking her as the cat. Cat is all 3 wives. That's definitely a good guess there. Big JC fan. Absolutely, that could be it. What else? Now again, the episode aired with 96 days left in the year. And the man that voiced Frump in that episode died at 96 years old the year that Trump became president in 2016. He was born on 11/19/1919. Do you think they knew that there would be a COVID-19? I think that may have been the case. I think it may have been the case. So, wow. Okay, I'm back in the chat. Let's see what's going on with you guys. I didn't realize how loaded these cartoons were. We've covered several of these cartoons. We covered a RoboCop cartoon. Remember that? Several weeks ago. Who would have guessed, right? And what is the purpose of putting this in a cartoon that only children watch? Literally, 10-year-olds watch this. Were watching this stuff. I grew up in this era. I probably watched that very cartoon. What could possibly be the reason for that? It's not Trump trolling. And if you're willing to write this off as just Trump trolling, all the way back in 1981 on a show that 8 and 10-year-olds watch, then you need to wake up. That's not what's happening here. This is some kind of magic, some kind of sorcery. They were plotting the future before it happened. So, looking forward to more contributions from people like Katie. Again, this show is 80% you guys and 20% me. I just put the information together. I try my best to look through everything that you send me and find the things that are going to show up in the upcoming shows. So, Katie's just been on fire lately. She's the one that sent us the Sesame Street episodes in which Trump appeared. There are 3 different appearances by Trump. So, now, what is this about? Well, think about the people who Trump calls his friends. The very people who believe in this kind of sorcery. Okay? That actually use this magic. These are the people that are creating all these cartoons and Hollywood and all this. So maybe that has something to do with it, that they knew the plan, that they knew how he would manifest in our reality and how prophecy would be fulfilled on the dark side. And so they started depicting it way back many, many years ago. Yes, Biden is a placeholder. No decode necessary. We already know Biden's evil. He's just continuing the same policies that we have to endure as they march us toward a global world order. You know, I have some friends. It's very hard to talk to them because, you know, this last week, it's been all about the midterms elections. And I'm like, you know, they're telling me, oh, it's, you know, it's getting close and we need to get back power. I'm like, you don't understand. And I tried to explain. I said, look, there is a bipartisan agenda afoot. Both sides are working together to bring us into a global world order under a cryptocurrency. They're just testing it all out now. Trump did some very Democrat things, like he won't take over national security and make it illegal to give, an illegal immigrant a driver's license. He could easily do that. It's national security. You just tell the states if you do this, all your federal funding will be removed. This is national security. You cannot allow people who aren't American citizens to work or get driver's licenses or any benefits. And guess what? Something really magic would happen. People would stop coming once they realized that there's no food for them. There's nothing for them here. They would stop coming, wouldn't they? Then he was pushing national ID, which basically replaces it doesn't replace your passport, but it basically takes a high resolution image of your face that they will later couple with 5G technology to do facial recognition in real time. Once the blockchain is complete, then they will be able to turn on and off your ability to make money, because there will be no more cash for you to get by in life, which a lot of people do. They have little cash businesses, which I think is totally acceptable. If you're willing to work your butt off and make a little cash, nobody should take any of that from you. I don't care if those people aren't paying taxes, because they're working their butts off for nothing. And they've decided to be independent and not go work for someone else to make them rich and contribute to the beast. But guess what? All that's going away, because there will be no more transactions like that. Every transaction will be blockchain, and both sides are backing it. Now, I know Trump criticized crypto at one point, but that's all smoke and mirrors, because guess what? Again, national security. If he really didn't like the blockchain, they would have put an immediate stop to it. Are we really that sleep that we really think that they would have allowed cryptocurrency to run rampant for the last 10 years and no one's done anything about it? Do we really think the federal government wouldn't have stopped that immediately? Of course they would have. They let it happen. They're field testing it. And until we wake up to that and we get out of the right-left paradigm and stop thinking it's this side against that side, we're going to just fall for it every time. Red flag laws, again, endorsed by Trump, took tens of thousands of guns away from people. Tens of thousands. Okay? Democrats and Republicans act the same at the presidential level. In fact, I would argue even that governors at the Republican and Democrat level act the same. Why hasn't the governor of Arkansas made it illegal to give driver's license to illegal immigrants and hire people that are illegal? Why haven't they done that yet? It's supposed to be a very conservative state, right? Why haven't they done that yet? Because it's all smoke and mirrors. Hopefully I'm getting through to some people. So people ask me, what's the solution? If we don't vote, the Democrats will win. It won't matter if the Democrats win. And you'll see it won't matter. If all of you stayed home and nobody voted for a Republican, they'll still put a Republican in power as the pendulum swings back and forth every 4 to 8 years. It doesn't matter if you vote or not. They're going to swing back and forth because that is the chessboard. They have to have black and white in equal numbers. This is why we have almost, if you were to go back and look, you will see throughout presidencies to the beginning and the founding of this country, you can count the number of Democrat presidents and count the number of Republicans, and I almost guarantee you it's 49% and 49%. Almost guarantee. Now, what are the odds of that? You mean to tell me as a country, after these hundreds of years, we haven't decided what we want to be, Democrat or Republican? Of course we've decided what we want to be. We are a largely conservative country, mostly conservative. But yet, if you look at the presidents elected, about half are Democrats and half are Republicans. What does that mean? It means it's orchestrated. It means it's not real. So, hopefully I've gotten through to some people. Let's go into the chat here. Get off my little soapbox. Sorry, I was on a bit of a rant there. All right. So am I right in my assumptions that half the presidents were Democrats and half the elected presidents were Republicans? Is that a true statement? I'm just guessing. I can almost guarantee you that that's the case. All right. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. Yes, do not engage. So you guys are saying yes. Yes, most of our country thinks they know Jesus, but the skeletons are so deep. Yes, the traditions of men, the traditions of voting, the traditions of patriotism are so deep. You're absolutely right. Thanks, Anita, for becoming a channel member. Much appreciated. I shared an article about Trump amulet on Facebook group. Okay. Oh, wow. So there is a Trump amulet. We're going to have to check that out. And everyone go to the Facebook group and check out her post there. Enterthestars Facebook group. Wow. All right. Stay out of their games. And Jesus tells us that. He says, be no part of this world. Could you imagine Jesus showing up to a voting booth? Of course he didn't. But yet, people think that you're a bad American if you don't vote. Or you're a bad Christian if you don't vote. Would Jesus have showed up to a voting booth? And now people say, oh, they didn't have voting back then. It was the Caesar. Did Jesus even have a political opinion of one side or the other? No, he didn't. He condemned the people in power over and over again. So, what else? All right. A true patriot is someone who wants the suffering of their fellow man to end, who wants the division between their fellow man to end, for us to be a family in our country. That's what a true patriot would want. True patriot would help their neighbor, regardless of what, political affiliation they were. That's a true patriot. So, all right. Anyway, I love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to go over this cat. Let me find it here. We're going to go over this cat study, a study about cats. Now, I love cats, but it appears as though this just came out on near Halloween of this year, just a few weeks ago. And they're saying that cats, host to host through urine, similar to the way the zoonotic Nipah virus harbored in bats, which caused annual deadly outbreaks in humans across Southeast Asia. They're now comparing cats to bats and talking about virus. This to me seems like a setup for something that hasn't happened yet. So, let's go back into the chat. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I love each and every one of you. Take care and be safe, you guys.